And now for the dice game. So let's do it for the dice game here. The first thing that we will do right here is to add the HTML, the thing that we will do in this video. So here, container, which will contain the dice game. And then we can make here a dev with class of player. And this will be for the player 0, so we can add here player 0. And this one will be the active for the initial state, so we can make it player active. And then inside here we will add h1, give it a class of name and id of name 0. And then after this part we can type here player 1. And then after the h1 right here we can make for p.score, that's containing the score, and an id for score 0. Let's make this one to be 21 right now. And then the dev with class of current, which is the current state right now, or the current value. And this one will be for p with current label and make it to current. And then another paragraph for the current score. Current score. And let's make it now to equal 0, but we need an id here. Current 0. Okay, so that's all for the player 0. We can copy this one to make it for the player 1. Right here. 1, 1, 1, 1. And this to be player 2. Let's make this for 3. And this to be 1, for example. Okay, so this is for the players. After this, we need to add for the new game, for the roll dice, and for the hold. So let's make it here, but first the image of the dice. Dice1.png. And we will give it a class of dice for the positioning and for the size. And then right here, we will make putin, give it a class of putin, and putin new. And this one will be for new game. And another one for roll dice and hold. Roll, and here roll dice, hold. Okay, so let's see what we have on the screen right here. So everything is working fine. This is the HTML. What we need to do in the next video is to add a JavaScript. So in the next video we will add for the constants and the initial states. So good luck and see you in the next video. So now let's add some JavaScript code to our project. The first thing we will do here is to add script, and then inside here we will make the first constant for player 0. Okay, and player 0, but for the JavaScript making a number at the last may cause a problem, so we can just make e at the end, or any number like a, equal to document dot query selector for the player 0. And then for the player 1, we can just copy this, make it here, this to be 1, and this to be 1. And then we can make another constant for the score. Const score 0 a, which is equal to document dot get element by id, no, not get animation, element by id. That one will be for the score 0, and another one for the score 1 and 1. Okay, and then we will make for the current value. We can paste this here current 0a, and this will be current 0, and another one for the 1a, 1 and 1. Okay, so that's good. And then after this part, what we will do, we will add a constant for the dice and for the buttons. So let's make it here, const of dice equal to document dot query selector for the class of the dice, and then constant with a button new equal to document dot query selector for the button new, and then for the button roll, let's make it now for the button hold equal to document dot query selector for the button hold, const button roll equal to document dot query selector for the button roll. Okay, so these are for the constants. Let's make now for the initial state, and this will be the last thing in this video. So what we can do here is to add a comment for initial state, and then right here we will make a function and call it initial state. Okay, and then right here we will make for the scores will be equal to 0 and 0, but we don't have this, so we just need to add some things here. Let scores, and these scores will be changed with time according to the roll dice, and then the current score, we will also need it. Each time we add, each time the user will roll the dice, the current score will increase by the number which appears on the dice. And then right here, active player. And the last one for the game. In the case if the game is true, we are playing. If the game is over, the game will be false. And then right here, the current score will be equal to 0. The active player will be also equal to 0, which is the ID of the first player. And the game will be equal to true. Okay, and that's good. And then what we will do else, in the initial state, I wanna think with you. In the initial state, we want this and this and this and this to be 0, and also we will need to remove the dice image, the class of player winner from the player 1 and player 2, and also we will remove the player active because this is the initial state, but it will be removed from the player 2 and added to the player 1 because this is the initial state that the game will begin from. So here we will make for score dot text content equal to 0. Let's check if it's working. We can make the screen larger. No, we get a problem here. What is the problem? Okay, we can recall this function here. So now it's working when we recall the function. Okay, so after this part right here, we can make for the score 1a. We can copy this one, 1a, and then we need for the current 1 and the current 0. Current 0, current 1. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's make the screen larger. So now it's working. Okay, and after this part, what we need to do, as I told you, we will need to remove the dice. So we will give it a class of hidden, which added in the CSS that has display to none. We can make here dice dot class list dot add. I will add the hidden. Let's reload the page. Okay, so now it's hidden. And then for the player 0 and also for the player 1, we will do the same. We will remove the class of the active of the player winner. Remove player winner. Copy this one for the 1. And then right here, we will give the player active to the player 0 and remove it from the player 1. Add, remove. This one will be for the player active, which the player active has a different background color than the basic one. So as you can see from here, those are white, but for the player active, it has a darker background color. So right here, I will remove the player active from the player that has the ID 1. Okay, that's good. Player 0, okay. And then right here, I just want to see what's going on here when we reload the page. No, I think we got something wrong in the CSS. We can go to the CSS and see the player active. No, we need to search the player active. We don't have the player active. I think I made it with 2 dots. I think so. The player no, it's not there in CSS. It's okay, I'll do it when we end this video. And then anyway, that's all for that we need to do in this video. I will add the player active myself. Okay, and now this is done. In the next video we will add more. We will add how to switch players. So when the player gets 1, it will switch to another player. So we will do that. So good luck and see you in the next video. And now, instead of adding for the switching player right now, I want to add for the rolling function. So we can add a comment here. Rolling the dice. Okay, and then right here, let's think about what do we want to do when we roll the dice. We want to check out first if the playing is true or not. So if it's true, which is the game right here, if the game is true, I will roll the dice. But if it's not true, I will not roll the dice. Or even if it's false, I will switch players. We will make, if it's false, we will switch players. And then right here, if it's true, if the game is true, I want to make something right here. I wanna, when I click on the roll dice, I want the current score or the number on the dice appear randomly. And this will be done by adding math floor and math random as we did before. And then after this part, we got for the remove hidden. So we will remove the class of hidden from the dice, so it will appear. And also, we will get the source of the dice. The source of the dice will be the same as the math random. So the math random needs to be added inside a variable. So it will be used also for the source of the dice. Let's do this part and then we will move to another part. We will make here. Oh, sorry, not here. Put in row. Dot add event listener on click. So I want something to happen. Function, and we don't need a parameter right here. Sorry, we don't need a parameter. And then inside if game. So if game is true, and then what I want to do here, the first thing is to generate a number that will appear randomly on the dice. Const random dice, and then right here to be equal to math floor, because we needed to remove any decimals. Math random, and this to be math random multiplied by 6. But we want to think about something here. The math random and the math floor of the math random might be 0, right? So we wanted to add +1. Okay, so now this will not be 0. And then after this part, we want to display the dice so it will appear on the screen. We will make right here the dice dot class list dot remove. I will remove the class of hidden. And then after this part, I want to change the source of the dice. So the dice dot source will be equal to, as we learned it before, this one if I want to use the $sign dice, and here where you get the $sign, okay, like that. And this will be the random dice. Okay, we just want to test what we did, but we just need to add PNG here. So let's click on roll the dice. Yeah, it works fine. Okay, and after this part, as a rule of the game, we want to check if the dice is not, if the random dice is not 1. So we can add here, if random dice is not equal 1. So I want something to happen, right? What I want to do here is to change the current score, and the current score will be added to plus equal, or let's make it, yeah, equal current score plus dice. But I don't need to type current score plus random dice. We can make something different. We can make here to be positive equal random dice, and this is equivalent to current score equal current score plus the random dice. And then right here we will make document dot get element pi id, and we will make it here the current, and then we will add a $sign here, but we just need to make it like that. Okay, and then right here this will be according to the active player, and then right here the text content will be equal to the current score. And also, no, that's all for this part, I think. Else I will switch players, but we will leave this empty right now because we don't have it. So now we can roll the dice and hope everything is working fine. Yeah, this is working fine. And we can make else switch players, but we don't have this now, so we can just make for the put on hold. But this is okay for this video, and in the next video we will make for the put on hold. Good luck and see you in the next video. And now we will add for the hold, so we can just add a comment here and make the hold. So okay, from the rules of the game, that when I click on the hold, the score will increase. This means that I will increase something in the array of the score, and then if this element inside the array is greater than or equal to 100, it means I won. So let's make here put on hold dot add event listener and make it to click, and we we will make a function right here. The function doesn't need any parameter, so parameters are empty. If game is true, so here I will add the current score value to the active player's score. So we can make here scores, the ID or the element of the number of the active player plus equal the current score. Let's add some space here. Okay, and after this part, what we want to do here is to change the text content of the score to be equal to this one, the new one stored here, which is the score active player plus the current score. So we can add some space right here. We can add here document.getElement by ID, and then right here we will make like that because we will use the $, because it will be according to the active player ID. Here score, the $, like that, and this will be active player dot text content, and the content will be the scores for the active player. And then after this part right here, we will check if the score is greater than or equal to 100. If scores for the active player is greater than or equal to 100. So now what I will do here is to finish the game by making the game equal to false and give the dice the class of hidden. So let's do that as first. Game equal to false, and the dice dot class list dot remove. I will remove the hidden. Sorry, I will add the hidden, not remove. But for the test, let's make it 20. Okay, and then after this part, we will add the class of player winner to the player that won. So let's add some space right here. The document dot query selector for dot player, and then the $, the active player, and I will class list dot add. I will add the player winner, player winner. Okay, and then right here we will remove the player active. So we can just copy this line, paste it here, the player active, but in this case it will be remove. Okay, and this is good right now. What we just can do right here is to go and check out this part when it's greater than 20. So okay, it doesn't work when it's greater than or equal to 20. So we want to check what's the problem right here. The scores we can check right here from the console. Scores, active player 0. Yeah, oh, we didn't press hold. So press hold and now it works. Okay, so now the last thing we want to do here is adding for the something like the toggle the players, but we will do that in the next video. So good luck and have fun. Okay, and now we want to do for the switching the players. We want to do here as first we will add else, and let's make it to 20. Else switch players. The same as here, we can copy this else function and use here. Delete this and this. Okay, and now what we want to do here is to add the function of the switch players. So let's do it right now. What we just want to do here is to add a function and call it switch. No, not like that. Switch players. Okay, and for these parameters we will leave it empty. So let's make the parameters empty right here and open the brackets. And then what we want to do after this part is to make the document.getElementPyId, and we will change the text content to be equal to 0. So as first, the document.getElementPyId of the current player, current the active player. And then after this part, what we will do, we will make for the text content to make it equal to 0. And then after this part, we will make the current score equal to 0. And then we want to check here, if the active player is 1, I will make it to 0. If it's 0, I will make it to 1. So we can just use one if and one else. If the active player is equal to 1, so I will make the active player to be equal to 0. And else, so we just have 0 and 1, so I don't need to make else if. This here to be active player equal 1. Okay, and then after this part, what we can do, we can add toggling, because I want to toggle the player active from the player 1 and player 2. So we can make here class list dot toggle. I want to toggle the class of player active. And then after this part, we can make player 1a dot class list dot toggle, and I will toggle the player active. Okay, I hope here everything is working fine, and now we just need to add something here. If I click on the new, when I click on the new, I want to start a new game. So we can make putin new dot add event listener, the click. When I click on it, I want to go to initial state. So let's see if it's working or not. So this is the active. When I roll the dice, okay. Oh, it got 1, so it moved here. I'll get 20, hold. Yeah, I succeed. Now we can click on new game. So it started a new game, and here it's new game. And when like that, and I click hold, so it will get me like that, and when I click it get me 1, so it moved back here. So now the roll dice works, and we have no problem with it, right? If you have any problem, you can ask in Q&A. I know it was a very difficult project, but you should have, before you start this project, you should have read the instructions carefully and also try the game yourself several times. Okay, and that's for the dice game. In the next video, we will move to the advanced projects. Good luck and have fun.